All right. How you doing tonight, brother? I know you're out of town. How you doing tonight?
Doing well. We had a big session with the Adelaide Sanford Charter School in Newark. So it's been a big day trying to get the charter school ready, and the teachers came in to get their classes ready today. So that hurdle was we were able to get over that hurdle, and so the students will be ready for them on Tuesday.
Okay, excellent. And, we just had Mama Hasina Murphy on from the Aisha Shule W.E.B. Du Bois Preparatory Academy here in Detroit. We just had her on a few minutes ago.
I listened to the Queen Mother, and she really explained and laid out what they're doing, why they're doing it, and the value of it. That was a very, very, very strong statement she made.
Oh, definitely. We definitely need that, brother. So now you just got back, I guess, a day or two ago. You went to the funeral of Queen Nzinga with ASAC, right?
Several of us from the East Coast had made our plans to go, and we bought our tickets, but they canceled the flight. And then they rebooked us because of the hurricane, and they rebooked us to come in Monday evening, and that's after the ceremony. But our people did come from Atlanta and Birmingham and Buffalo and Ohio and Chicago and other parts, and they really joined her family because there was a family reunion at that time, and they really had a celebration of her life. So it went better than anybody expected, and so her achievements and what she was trying to do with her approach to African education, African upliftment, was held up high. So that we're very glad that it was a surprise for many that she did leave us. Ancestors called, but the work that she had laid out over the last 20 years will be the foundation upon which ASAC can build for the future. And ASAC is the Association for the Study of Classical African Civilizations, which we founded as a collective African family when we met in 1984 at a conference hosted by Dr. Malana Karanga, and his partner at that time was Dr. Jacob Carruthers. So they hosted 500 or 600 of us from around the country, and it was at that time that it was agreed that we should form a family organization that would deliver for us the information we needed in reference to African culture and civilization. So the next year, 85, ASAC was born under the auspices of Dr. Jacob Carruthers, the first president, at our meeting in Chicago. And then 86, ASAC continued to grow under the conference held in New York under my auspices. And then we agreed at that time that we would take this new organization of the African family to the Nile. And we took over 1,000 people joined us at a conference in Egypt, in Nubia, the southern part of Egypt, at Aswan. And I had three generations. My mother went. She was Eastern Star, so she knew the importance of getting to Egypt. And my nephews, Dr. Hassan Jeffries and his brother, attorney Hakeem Jeffries, went, and my daughters and sons, and I helped about 30 people go. It was a great triumph to have so many of us.
Right, that was 1987.
1987.
Yep. And we have the DVD of that, Return to the Nile Valley. That's available on our website also.
Well,
that's
wonderful.
Excellent. That's excellent.
Yes.
And you all, it was so many of you all there, Dr. Jacob Carruthers, Dr. Asa Hilliard, Dr. Naeem Akbar, Dr. Malana Korenga, of course, Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark, you were there.
Right.
It was fantastic just to see all those people. But then also there was a marriage that took place during that time, and Dr. Ben, I'm not sure if he married the people, but I know he said a few words there. And he talked about how... Okay, go ahead.
No, he had a tradition of when he took his groups, he would often have that type of ceremony, either a marriage or either a homegoing or people might take the ashes of their ancestors and in the great hall of the Waset temple, they might have a ceremony. Yes, so that was part of the family process and ancestral veneration that we have been doing. Yes.
Okay, excellent. Well, the topic tonight, for those just tuning in, you listen to the African History Network show. I'm your host, Brother Michael M. Hotep, and our guest tonight is one of our Grandmaster Scholar Warriors, one of my teachers, Dr. Leonard Jeffries. He's a professor of Africana Studies and Politics at City College in New York. Political Science, City College in New York. And when our topic tonight is understanding Marcus Garvey in the 21st century. And the reason why I wanted to do this topic is because his birthday just passed, August 17th. And we need to, all of our great leaders, our great scholars, we need to revisit them and see what their relevance is in the 21st century, because depending upon different times, that determines, what you do. And from our scholars and leaders, things like that, we need to learn from the successes as well as their mistakes. So and another reason why is because, Marcus Garvey had the largest mass movement of African people in this country, but he's not really talked about a lot, except maybe within the conscious community, but outside of the conscious community, amongst our people, he's not really talked about a lot. So that's another reason why we need to talk about him. So, so Dr. Jeffries, for those who may not really be familiar that much with Marcus Garvey, they may know the Back to Africa movement or what have you, but for those who really may not be that familiar with Marcus Garvey, why don't you share with us who Marcus Garvey was and why he was such a political giant to us?
Well, certainly, I think you're absolutely correct that we need to constantly do an assessment of how our great heroes and sheroes are being projected and how they are continuing to influence our people. And when it's not what it should be, then we need to do just as you are doing, have a program focusing on them. And there are a number of us who really have been trying to understand the impact of Marcus Garvey and the phenomena that he produced, which led to the largest mass movement in our history in modern times. We call it Garveyism, and it's founded on Pan-Africanism, relating all African peoples, wherever they are, to each other. And so we need to study the life of Marcus Garvey in order to live Garveyism. And Garveyism intersects with so many others that have been important in this great and mighty walk that our people have been involved in to restore our Africanness. And the great attack on us is to de-Africanize us. And so Garveyism and around the movement that he developed has been a major effort to restore our African family global connection. Marcus Garvey himself was born in the period between my grandfathers. My father's father was born in 1886 in Georgia, Jesse Jeffries, and my mother's father was born in 1887 in Farmville, Virginia area, and he actually was born January the 19th. And so I was born on my grandfather's birthday, which was a great event in my life. In between those, in 1887, Marcus Garvey was born in Jamaica, in the island.
Yes.
And he began to develop a consciousness about the condition of African peoples. And he developed skills. He had his professional skills, which allowed him to travel. Eventually, he went to the Caribbean and other parts, and he raised questions about where are the leaders of African people? Where's our kings, queens? Where are our great personalities? Where is the real history of our people? And so he began a personal search for the African